Inter Miami was supposed to be a team of destiny, a powerhouse forged in the fires of greatness, led by the one and only Lionel Messi. But in one shocking night, that dream didn't just fade, it was publicly, utterly, and ruthlessly demolished. The question on everyone's mind isn't whether they can win without him, but whether this team, built on a foundation of one man's genius, can survive at all. What the world saw was more than a loss. It was a total unraveling that exposed a painful truth. Just 90 seconds into the game, the signs of a disaster were already there. A relentless Orlando City attack, a swift pass, and a goal that left Inter Miami's defense frozen in place. While a quick equalizer from Yannick Bright momentarily silenced the crowd, it was a hollow victory. The brief glimmer of hope was just a flicker before the lights went out completely. What followed was a total collapse. Orlando City, in a cruel and clinical display, didn't just beat Inter Miami, they exposed them. They tore through their defense with brutal efficiency, scoring goal after goal in a way that screamed helplessness. By the time the final whistle blew on a 4-1 thrashing, the scoreboard was less of a record of the match and more a public shaming. It was a complete and utter demolition, and it begged a painful question. How could a team with such high expectations fall apart so completely? You've got a team of superstars, an entire roster of talent, and yet they were a ghost of themselves. Why? The answer is simple and glaringly obvious. The ghost of a legend haunted that field, the legend of Lionel Messi. It wasn't just a physical absence, it was a psychological one. The team looked lost, uncoordinated, and utterly bereft of leadership. Every pass seemed to lack a purpose. Every attack was missing that final killer touch, and the entire defensive line seemed to have forgotten how to communicate. Without their maestro on the field, the symphony of Inter Miami became a mess. This wasn't a team playing without their best player. This was a team playing without its very soul, and the result was as catastrophic as you'd expect. Official sources like the Inter Miami CF website have confirmed that Lionel Messi has a minor muscle injury in his right leg. Coach Javier Mascherano has stated that he is fine, but that it would be crazy to take any risks and that his return is dependent on his clinical progress. However, this is where the story gets interesting. The official diagnosis is minor, but his absence has now led to a catastrophic loss. Rumors are now flying through fan forums and social media. What if it's not so minor? What if the club is downplaying the severity to protect the player and the brand? It's a familiar story in the world of sports, where a minor setback can sometimes be the beginning of a much longer, more complicated saga. Reports claim he felt a pull and slapped the ground in frustration, a reaction that doesn't scream minor tweak. This isn't the first time he's had muscle issues, and at 38, recovery timelines are far from guaranteed. There's a buzz online, a sense of fear that this isn't just a one-game blip, but a red flag about the team's future, leaving many to speculate if their season and their aspirations are already hanging by a thread. In the ruthless world of professional sports, a team is only as good as its last game, and with every match, the pressure on Inter Miami, and specifically on coach Javier Mascherano, becomes a pressure cooker ready to blow. He's already admitted to being very hurt, very concerned by the loss, and has even taken full accountability. But is that enough? The fans who once believed in the Messi dependence narrative that the team could not succeed without its star are now seeing that fear come to life. The team's performance wasn't just poor, it was tactically disjointed and lacked inspiration even with other stars like Luis Suarez and Sergio Busquets on the field. This defeat is a shocking new chapter for a coach who, just months ago, welcomed the pressure with a confident swagger. Now, without his talisman on the field to bail him out, Mascherano is facing the most difficult test of his coaching career. Can he rally a team that looks completely lost, or will this be the beginning of a spectacular fall from grace? While the Inter Miami squad was crumbling, a completely different story was being written across the field. This wasn't a victory, it was a statement. This was Orlando City's moment. Spearheading their ruthless attack was Luis Muriel, a player who put on a clinic. He wasn't just scoring, he was toying with Inter Miami's defense, a defense that, without Messi's presence to distract, seemed slow and disorganized. Muriel's second goal was a masterpiece of ruthless efficiency. A short corner that saw him effortlessly bypass one of the greatest defenders in the game, Jordi Alba, before slotting the ball home. He was the perfect villain in this narrative, a star on a mission who came to Orlando not just to win, but to embarrass. This wasn't a team getting lucky. It was a team seizing an opportunity and proving without a shadow of a doubt that the Florida Derby isn't just a one-sided affair. They didn't beat Inter Miami. They completely exposed the chasm between a team and a collection of individuals. The clock is ticking, and the pressure is mounting. Inter Miami is not just a team in crisis. They are a team facing a brutal gauntlet of upcoming games. The question of when will Messi return is no longer a casual inquiry. It's a desperate plea. With a League's Cup quarterfinal looming and other crucial league matches right around the corner, every day without their star is a day of dread. The official line is that he will be back soon, but the team's performance without him tells a different story. Can they, or should they, risk rushing him back to save their season? Or will a premature return lead to an even more devastating injury? This isn't just a matter of managing a player's health. It's a high-stakes gamble with the future of the entire club. What will happen next could make or break their season, and it's a story that everyone from the front office to the most diehard fan is waiting to see unfold. The final verdict on Inter Miami is becoming shockingly clear. While they were winning with Messi, the team's true weaknesses were hidden behind his genius. Now, with him on the sidelines, the raw, painful reality has been exposed for everyone to see. This team isn't a cohesive unit. It's a collection of high-priced talent that crumbles without its central figure. Coach Mascherano's challenge isn't just about winning games. It's about proving the entire project isn't a sham. This defeat against Orlando City isn't just a bump in the road. It's a full-blown emergency. It reveals a team that lacks the tactical depth, mental fortitude, and collective will to compete at the highest level when its star isn't there to save them. The big question, the one that's getting louder with every loss, is this: can a team that was built entirely around one man ever truly succeed on its own? And that's the real story, isn't it? The dream of a championship team built around a single, peerless talent has been exposed as a house of cards. Inter Miami isn't a complete team, it's a dependency. This shocking 4-1 loss wasn't just a bad night at the office. It was a brutal and public demonstration of what happens when you remove the single foundation stone from a supposedly world-class structure. With crucial matches on the horizon and whispers about Messi's long-term fitness growing louder, the club now faces a terrifying reality. Can they, and will they, find a way to become a true team? Or will they simply continue to stand still, waiting for a savior who may not be able to rescue them forever?